Welcome. In this video, we're going to be looking at Regal's quality processes that we use to make sure our boats are absolutely top-notch. Let's go check out the lab where it all begins. Here we are in the Regal laboratory. This is Tim. He's our lab engineer, and he goes through a number of processes to make sure that the gel coat is right, make sure that we're using the right materials, make sure that our resins are good. In addition to that, he's part of the research and development team that tests brand new products that are going to go on Regal boats, making sure that they're absolutely perfect. Let's follow him around as he does some of his tests.
So here we have our UV box. This is where we test all fabrics and vinyls and new gel coats for sun exposure to make sure they'll hold up in the sun. Here we have all of our resin and gel coat testing equipment where we do incoming testing on all our resins and some of our gel coats for viscosity and gel time. Coming over here, we have our corrosion testing boxes where we check all of our new metal parts to make sure they'll hold up to the salt water. And then we have a moisture box here as well to test for the similar things. Here's a great example of why you want to test for corrosion. If we weren't to test for this, these would be out on people's boats, but instead we got nice pieces that don't rust. And then coming over here, this is kind of our work area. I got some equipment out here where we use for gel coat testing. This is an ultrasonic thickness gauge, so we can use this to quality check hulls and decks to make sure that the gel coat thickness is to spec, as well as a gloss meter we have here to make sure that we're finishing the boats to the level we claim we are. We also test a lot of our materials for elevated and extremely low temperatures. So here we have a minus 35-degree freezer. We use this to check a lot of our vinyls, wood materials, PVCs, stuff just to make sure that everything's secure up to extremely low temperatures. And then the opposite of that, we also have an oven that we use to a temperature around 150 F to almost 200 Fahrenheit in situations to make sure that all the parts that go on the boat can handle summer heat. Here's our dynamometer. We use this to check new adhesives for bonding. We use it to check on teak materials, vinyl materials, plastics. Here I have a teak sample that we're testing the longevity of a joint over a long period of time. This sample's been outside for months. So we're gonna break it and make sure that these materials will hold up on a boat long after you buy it.
Tim, thank you so much for your time and doing science with us, man. It's awesome to see all the things you do to make sure that our boats are built well and that we're using great products throughout. So now we're gonna move on to our test tanks and see how we quality check our boats in the water. Welcome to our indoor swimming pools, also known as a test tank. You can see right now there's a little bit of a water test going on. They're spraying water all over the top deck of this boat, the windows, everywhere, because we want to make sure that the boats don't leak. But that's not the only thing that happens inside this test tank. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Come on. Inside the test tank here, the boat's not all the way completed for the quality check. That's because we wanted to part just a little bit to make sure that when we're checking all of these systems, if there's something wrong, it's easily fixed. We're checking the water systems, the self-bailing cockpit, all of the hoses, all of the fittings, the air conditioning units. We want to make sure that this boat is ready to roll when it goes and hits the lake. Right here, they're about ready to do the smoke test where they check and make sure that this bulkhead is sealed. After all the systems have been checked and everything's signed off, next step is everybody's favorite part. Let's go run the boat in the water. No bad days on the water, and we're here at the test basin for Regal boats. This is what we live for, right? 38 SAV just got launched, and we're gonna go check it out and see everything they do in this phase of quality check. All right, so Herbert is our test captain today. This is his checklist. What he's gonna be doing here in the lake is calibrating the autopilot, and he's gonna be running the boat again, getting it up on plane, testing that time to plane, making sure there's oil pressure, checking those engines out, going over all the systems of the boat again, air conditioning, all of that stuff that was just done in the test tank. This is repetitive to make sure that we get the boat perfectly dialed for the customer. When that 38 SAV is done running out there in the test basin, it's gonna come here to final quality check and the detail station. So what's happening at this point They're gonna put all the little tiny finishing touches on the boat, the little interior panels that were taken down, and they're gonna buff the boat, wax it, shine it, polish it, do everything that they need to do to make this boat dialed, ready to leave. But there's one more thing that I wanna show you before we end this video. The last thing that I want to show you is where our quality begins and ends, and that's our PD&E department, where right behind these walls, they're working on the 2022 product right now. So come on guys, let's go take a little bit of a sneak peek. Whoa, 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 I can't show you that. And that's a wrap. The boats are all cleaned up, on their way to you. For more information, go to regalboats.com or visit your local dealer. Thanks for your time.